Hey guys, Cinderash here, and here's the Vanguard build that will get you through Ruthless, no matter your skill difficulty or your skill ceiling that you're at. This build pretty much just hard carries you through. It's a really simple build, really easy build, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So first off, we're getting upper hand after perfectly timed parry or dodge. You not lose control upon taking heavy hits, and you cannot be knocked back for 5 seconds. This is great because we're going to be using the multi-Melta, and this class isn't the greatest for melee. Next up, we're going to be doing, again, just perfect time dodge parries, getting better. Anything with doing perfect parries or dodges is just going to be key for us. They're going to help with a lot of damage. Inner fire, so that way we can restore ability charges 15% faster by performing finishers. If you take out an entire Minoris group by yourself, you'll get 60% of your stuff back. We just want our dive kick back as quickly as we can, and enemies hit by dive kick take more range damage, aka from our Melta. And then, of course, just making sure that we never have a grapnel launcher up would be great, so that way we get an extra 10. Upon taking lethal damage, just restore all your armor. It's just an in-case kind of thing. Like if you get overrun in the middle of a reload and you get your health absolutely melted. Speaking of melted, we're going to be taking the Ophidian Liberation Alpha Melta because it has the most magazine capacity. Other than that, there's no reason to take a Melta gun because these things hit really hard and you just want a lot of ammo in the first place. So, obviously, ammo, anything that we do when we drop below health, just gives us health. More damage, magazine size, reload speed. While reloading, you don't lose the ability to keep your reload from heavy hits, so on and so forth. Very simple. Bolt pistol, I'm just going to go over real quick because we already had it from a different video. But pause if you need it. It's just basically the entire bottom row because we're just going to be focusing on Tyranids. If you need to adjust, you can obviously adjust from other stuff. And then chain swords, unlike the previous video, I actually have gotten all the chain swords now. And then I'm just going to simply master those two and then work on the perk tree. It's, again, basically just going to be the entire bottom row. And you're just going to just take whatever you can and just chunk it up. In this video, though, I'm just focusing a little bit more on melee damage, although I'm not really going to be using a ton of melee on this class. It's mostly just parries, which you don't need the melee damage for. That last one, though, I will take the extremist level enemies by having them take more melee damage just because combos with the chainsword are just nasty. You can, of course, take the knife with this class if you've been using a class that takes the knife, especially if you're just doing more parry stuff, then this will be good for you. But personally, I'm just not a huge fan of it. We're just going to hop in on Decapitation, because again, it's just a Tyranid mission. It's the one that I like the most. Again, we're just going to skip the cutscene. I went to go get water, so I forgot to skip until the very last second because, you know, I'm a thirsty boy. I need my water. But as you can see, we have a 11 bullets and 24 in the back chamber, allowing us to just, you know, mow down most enemies. And first thing we're going to do is just show that the Melta just absolutely obliterates these little enemies. And because they come in hordes, you could just one-shot, sometimes two-shot the entire wave, and you don't need to worry about it. Now that we're coming up on 4 Majoris enemies, I'm going to just toss these grenades out to just get initial damage down, because frags are kind of whatever. We have a Melta gun. That's our horde clear. We don't really need the grenades to horde clear. Perfect parries are going to be great, because again, just perfect parry everything. Gun strikes to the head, execute when you can. Clear out the enemies. It makes it really cinematic, especially when your entire team's doing one at the same time. Just gonna grapple to anything that I can to just kind of move forward ahead of my team, simply because it'll be a little bit better that I nuke all the enemies down immediately like that, because after a perfect parry and a gun strike, I was able to get another gun strike off, and they died fairly quickly. Took out 2. This one's getting crushed, and then Flash is still working on another one that dropped down, and then this one is getting melted as well. Now, I am standing in thorns, which isn't the smartest thing, but there is still a little bit of iframes before and after executions that allow you to just kind of dodge out of it, so that way you don't take any armor damage. Not that it matters, because armor does regenerate, but I digress. I'm simply going up here because I just want to pad my stats to make myself look better and feel better. Even though that our Bulwark is level 1 and then the other guy is level 25, but he does have a decent class on, so he should be keeping up in damage with me. You might notice that I'm basically just shooting everything with my multi-melta. Now, there's no reason to save your ammo with the multi-melta. It just simply is as is. You just use it when you can, and then if you have to, you swap to your pistol. But there's different ways to get ammo back for your multi-melta. Obviously, ammo boxes and the small ones you come across. But certain classes have the perk trees. I believe it's tactical that allow you to just get your full ammo back on finishers, so it'll make it a lot easier. As you can see, I got shot through the box on my left, and now everything is falling apart, and I'm struggling. But one shot from the multi-melta, I got majority of my health back, and now I'm more or less just panicking because now I have to dodge a sniper, I have to execute this enemy, and I have to stop this guy. It's a fucking clown fest now. I have lost everything that would hold me true to being semi-good. And again, this is another thing of what I say is you're not going to play perfect every time, and things are going to always fuck you up. Of course, that guy is just taking cheeky pot shots at me the entire time, and the moment that he's just like, you know what, nah. And then he just instantly lasers me from behind with no sign of the laser, so. Go figure. It's just one of those situations where, again, the hit line indicators are just not showing up, and it gets really annoying. This part is just absolutely fucking atrocious because we have 2 Zoranthropes, and I'm just laying into the shielded one, and I just wasted a fuck ton of ammo. And I hate these bastards, dude. Honestly, every time I see 2 of them together and they just bounce the shield between each other, I feel a little bit depressed inside, and I wish I could just force them to stop. Now, I was not inside the banner there, which I wish I was, because then I could have got a fuck ton of HP back from that execution. Or any execution, really. I could have forced a Termagrid or a Hormagrunt to go into execution status, or at least a gun strike, so that way I could have executed it in the face. But nope. I'm going to be on low HP for a minute, but at least I got a couple Melta shots in, and then I was able to execute this bad boy. The reason that I got Melta ammo back is, again, because I fell below that HP threshold, which refilled my clip. Even though I didn't have any ammo, it still refills the entire clip, which is so nice. Honestly, is the only thing that saved me from going down. So take note of that as you will, if it's actually a good thing or if it's just because it's a safety net for playing like dog shit. Just gonna casually drop down on these boxes, and of course there's more ammo, but it's not like it matters. There's an ammo box in the next room, but I'm just gonna be greedy and shove it all down my gullet anyway, and then just hit what I can. Now that little fucker has a sniper, and honestly, I don't know why we tried to kill it. We should have just ran inside, but again, the sniper hit indicators have been a little rough today for some reason. And the door's finally open. I'm just the last one to notice because I'm making sure that the back line is taken care of, so that way when we go into the door, we don't have anything coming in after us after the door starts to close, and we get pinned by all sides. Because if you've been in this room, and I'm sure you have many, many times, you notice how quickly things can just converge on you, and having to fight from a 360 angle instead of a fucking almost near 270 angle is just awful. So thankfully, he put down a banner right as I got that execution. Bulwarks on top, to be honest, for that. But it allowed us to get our HP back and not actually go down. And that was only our saving grace, other than if I was to just use the Medicae stim that I had in front of me. Which would have also been pretty nice to pop if I needed. But thankfully I didn't. So now I'm just got to take care of this fucking little termagrunt. Just shoot it in the face. Now note that every time that I think I've showcased this different mission, we've only had to do 3 charges. And I don't know why we don't have iframes during putting the charges on. I really don't. It doesn't make sense. So I absolutely got obliterated. Normally you need a teammate to cover you, but again, I have a Melta, so I don't need any skill. I just completely just run through the shit, and I have no issues whatsoever. Just a quick shot in the face from my contested health to all return to me, and it's good to go. Now I have orange things coming in. They're just mines. I'm just basically going to ignore them. 9 times out of 10, they don't hit their intended target unless you're out in the open. But during these big open, during these big closed concepts compared to the open concepts, the mines can easily try to swerve to hit you and hit a pillar, and you don't need to really worry about them. Or they'll swing completely wide, or go so narrow that they'll not even get close to you and just land on the ground. Thing to note that I have not been doing extremely well is using my grapple hook as much as I can. The whole thing behind using my grapple hook is so that way I have that extra 10% bonus damage, but I've more or less just been kind of dicking around. And again, my teammates want to dick around instead of getting in the elevator because they felt the need that they were the best of the best. And then this huge wave came in. We also got a fucking lictor. So go figure, the moment that they want to leave, we get stopped because of them. Extremist enemy. So now it's up to me to try and clean up and take care of the entire situation to better benefit it. And thankfully he put down a banner as that guy was getting the execution health off, and we're good to go. Somehow the pillars went up and our assault was able to go off out of it. I guess that's one of the bugs that you can have happen, although it's not even a useful bug. It's just kind of like a, oh well, get fucked, idiot. I'll grab the Gene Seed because out of the 2 people here, the Bulwark is level 1, so he's not going to have the best stuff. And 2, the character here, the Assault, is using a Thunder Hammer, which is not the greatest melee weapon. If he had a Chain Sword and he was running Gunstrike build, which it didn't seem like he was, I'd let him take it. So he's not the prime candidate here either. So I'm just going to be the one that picks it up and takes it and holds it for everybody. Now it's just the waiting game of, well, pretty much just waiting for the enemies to spawn. So I had to get bored, decide to kick a couple of barrels down. I mean, what else am I going to do? I'm a fucking space marine and bored out of my mind. I can crush a couple of humans if I wanted, but they have this weird thing that allows me to just walk through them. So I think they're figments of my imagination. I mean, Zinch is really good at that shit. He could just make you believe that anything's happening. So they're coming down my favorite side, which is a great thing to be able to showcase with my Melta gun. We're basically waiting for big hordes to pop down. Whoever shot the big squad barrels, your mom's a whore. I wanted to shoot that because I wanted more kills. I'm trying to get my 41,000 kills, you bastard. But I digress. I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to just shoot here every couple of shots. I'm going to grenade there to make sure they don't come up, because this is really the only other beneficial use for frag grenades. It's just big horde waves like this. If I had shock grenades, I'd throw down shock grenades on top of it, so that way, because of the way the animations work for these creatures, as if they're climbing, they're still getting shocked as if they were still on the ground, so they will die before they reach the top, which means that that entire area is cut off and you don't need to worry about it. Now, unfortunately, this big dude came in right as this huge wave was coming up, so I didn't want this execution to go on for too long, but I got a bunch of ones to climb up, and unfortunately that stopped me from just absolutely making sure nothing got up and ensuring all those kills were mine. Because now I have a teammate who decides to come over and take all my kills, even though I have a Melta gun, and there's really no reason for it. I guess he just wants to show off his little toy Thunderhammer that does absolutely no damage. So because we were low on ammo, we're just going to restock our ammo. We're just going to run back over here and take care of everything. We had a little one chasing us, and there's a couple all over the map that are still popping up here and there, but majority of it's over now, and you can't hit those ones from there, from that angle, so doesn't even matter. We'll just let them go, and we'll focus on the forward front that is coming. Although the forward front doesn't even matter, because again, if you go to the Terminid console right here for when you explode all the Terminids, none of them will get up to the top before they all just perish. I just decided to mark that in case somebody needed it. I didn't know if anybody was low on health because we have a bulwark. But I'm just going to shoot those big crates just for a couple extra kills, and shoot these little ones as the thing comes down just to get a couple extra kills for my 41,000 kill achievement. Otherwise, it's really not necessary. I would recommend doing it because the less time you have to spend worried about kills. Or I guess you don't even really need to worry about kills, but I'm an achievement hunter. I'm an achievement whore. I'd love to be slathered in perfect games on my profile. That, it's no surprise that just shooting them and getting rid of them and getting them done out of the way is how I prefer to play. So as we come down the stairs, or the elevator rather, I'm really tired, but I want to get this recording out. We're going to let the Bulwark take the Guardian Relic because he's level 1. So it'll just be easier for him to knock that out. In case he goes down, we'll keep him alive. Other than that, we're just going to have bullied that Majoris enemy into the corner and just made it regret its entire existence. I'm just going to walk over here, take these 4 out again, just quick padding to the stats. You don't really need to kill those. I'm going to run over here, but he's just going to shoot it in the face and take my kill. How dare he? You know, doesn't really matter because it's a co-op game. One kill's not going to really matter at the end of the day. Who has it as long as it dies, am I right? He's just going to climb out of the rubble. He just has a casual railroad spike through his body. He's still alive, you know. He doesn't need those vital organs. Who cares? Somebody decided to shoot the mines. I wanted to just melt a gun everything and just pad my stats, but they'll take those mines for their kills, and that's fine. No big deal. And then we'll press forward. I have a Melta Bomber. I would have thrown some grenades into that stack. He has the frag, and he's the assault, so he's just going to go in there, blow all that up, and then nuke that. I have no reason to just kind of focus on these. Those two will take care of it all. I'm just going to press forward and take care of any other big enemies that might be around. There's these little 4 or 5 stack enemies. I'll just shoot it once, shoot it twice, double tap, make sure it's dead. No big deal. And then I'll finish this guy off with a couple pot shots to the head. Since there's no targets detected, I'm just going to go to the elevator. I don't need to really wait on my teammates. And in the meantime, I could have reloaded my weapon, but I was just kind of waiting for them to get here. The reason you should is because you don't know whatever is going to be at the top up here. I've had many times where my team is wiped simply because either somebody didn't reload, somebody didn't have ammo, etc., etc., and there's like 2 zoanthropes. There's like 6 to 8 Majoris enemies. Sometimes an extremist that is not Zoranthropes will be up here as well. And then a ton of Minoris enemies, so people just get absolutely shredded because they're not perfect parrying even the small enemies, they're not blocking, or they're just simply letting things run into them from behind or above or wherever. Comes a whole issue. You should always be aware of your surroundings. So he's going to the left, so I don't need to be aware of that. I just need to go right and melt the rest of these enemies real quick. Like I said, just having this Melta gun just allows you to roll through everything and not need to worry about it. So halfway through my reload, as you saw, I perfect parried, and I still get to keep the ammo inside. This is something you can do even with dodges, rolls, your grapnel, your special abilities, anything that can cancel the animation will allow you to keep the ammo in there. Just a little fun fact for tidbits if you need to be super sweaty for some reason. Like if your teammates are lacking a little bit of skill, or if you need to clutch up a moment, it's very useful. Just gonna grab that armor boost. Was really hoping for some crack grenades off that, so that my teammates had some extra grenades to use. I believe that dude grabbed some shock grenades, so it's not the worst, but it's not the best either. They're mostly used for like defending a certain point. And then we'll go in. Now, I don't recommend doing what I'm doing here. I'm just being an idiot. So I grappled to him, and it just kind of flung me and did something weird. And then same here, I grappled him again, and it just broke the line for some reason. But I got my 10% damage boost, and he's taking an extra couple bit of damage from ranged attacks because I was the one hooked to him. Other than that, we have an assault. He's running Gunstrike. We want him to be the focus of this boss's attacks and whatnot. So you can see our bulwark is just kind of doing minimal work over there. He's just kind of meleeing a couple of times here and there. But I'm just hammering into the back from a distance, so it does a little bit of reduced damage, but the assault has the majority of everything going on. So because of how many enemies were just around me and I was worried about getting my Melta Bomb off, I lost all of my HP. I should have been more focused on taking care of the enemies and dodging more than I should have been focusing on getting that bomb off. So I had to burn both of my stims, and then I did the other stupid thing of jumping into him again. So those stims that I just used to gain all my health back, I just lost, and I'm pretty much back to where I started, health-wise. So even though having that extra 10% damage would be better, it's not worth it to lose all your health on and play sloppy like that. Only do it when he's not focused on you, or do it to an enemy that is not going to absolutely destroy your entire health bar in one hit. So now is the time to focus on dodging again, even though we have a bunch of Minoris enemies coming in, and we'll just basically take the focus now where we're going to be the parry boy, and I parried too early, and now I'm going to parry again. It's mostly because I'm worried about these small enemies jumping on me, and I don't want them to stagger me and then have the Hive Tyrant hit me, and then I'll go down immediately. I was still just being really greedy, trying to get the boss to focus on me, so that way I could just, you know, show off. And really, again, it's a co-op game. I should have let my teammates take a lot of the focus, and I should have been dodging a little bit more. But either way, we still progressed. We still won. Now looking at the stats, I should be top of the board for like 90% of the stuff, simply because of just how busted the Melta gun is. Got everything, good there on experience. As you can see, 554 kills compared to both of theirs. I easily trumped their kills, even combined. Special kills, you know, there was 4 across the whole board. I got 2 of them, so that's not bad. Melee damage, obviously low, because I don't really give a shit about melee. I'm all about gun damage, which, again, I had almost 20k on. Pinged a lot of items, so that's another 10 experience there. I took the least amount of damage, somehow. So, again, more experience gain there. Because somebody got incapped, I got a 10% experience bonus for that, or 10 experience bonus for that. And then because I did not revive him, I could have gotten that other 10 experience there, and that would have pushed me pretty well within my experience gains. But you take what you can get. But if you guys like this build and you like seeing how the other classes I built and how they function in Ruthless difficulty, make sure to leave a like, drop a sub, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.